What's up guys, this is Chris here, and today we're coming at you from Iowa on this brisk, sort of windy, sort of wet, pretty cold day. Well, it's kind of a bad day for weather, but it's a damn good day for shooting, because today I have something I've wanted for a while. This is the Henry Repeating Arms Big Boy X in .357. Now this is a lever action rifle, but not a lever action rifle like a lot of you are accustomed to. This is designed more for self-defense, home defense, and it still works just fine for ranch use, having fun on the range, teaching kids how to shoot. All the things that the old guns could do, this can do, but this can also do a few other more modern things. And I'll give you an example. Instead of having a longer barrel, this actually has a 17-inch barrel, which is very short and compact and easily moving through structures. We actually have the front loading gate here, which is not usually on Henrys. That's more of a Winchester thing. But as we all know, that's kind of a superior way to load. However, you still have the traditional Henry way to load if you so choose. You have a Picatinny rail here, so you can put lights on there if you want to use this for home defense. A lot of people do use lever action for home defense. Some people sneer at that, but trust me, getting hit with one, you won't know the difference. Lever action shoot a fairly capable caliber. This has a 7 or 8+1, 8 rounds of .357 Magnum in the right spot, easily aimed via a shoulder fire weapon, works all the time. Now we have a threaded barrel. We also have a fiber optic set of sights there. These are still buckhorn sights. However, the receiver is drilled and tapped for a Picatinny rail. So we will be putting a red dot on here eventually to bring some even more modernist to this classic design. The fore end here has some pretty good grip on it, which I like, and it's not super thin. It actually has a little bit of girth, so you can get a hold of that guy, because one of the issues with a lever action rifle, especially with modern day shooting techniques, wrap your hand around the barrel. A, the barrel gets hot. B, you get in the way of your sights. No sight picture. That's kind of an issue. You want to put that thumb forward, and you want to focus on gripping the forearm that you have. Big loop on the lever there allows you to, well, get into it faster, operate at about the same speed, but you can flip it up and around like Terminator 2, and that is a big pro. We have a lot of texture and a big thick grip here for your firing hand on the stock. Stock's tapered well, and then we have a good rubber recoil pad with a lot of texture on the hammer, which is very nice also. I like lever actions for a lot of things. Home defense, self-defense is one of those things, especially if you're in a state where laws require you to have a less modern weapon. And in this case, I think this is a great choice. I haven't shot it yet, but I do have a lot of Henrys. I have a lot of experience with Henry. My first gun was a Henry. I've been shooting lever action rifles since I was about 6 years old, according to my dad, so I've got a little bit of trigger time behind them. I like the Henrys. They're very reliable, very durable, and they usually have a pretty robust coating. I have some that are over 20 years old, and they still work great. We're gonna go shoot this. Before we do though, I wanna mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. It's because of you guys we have all this cool guns and ammunition on the channel. If you wanna help the channel, go into the link in the description below. If you're not into Patreon, YouTube has super thanks. That works great as well. A lot of you guys have been using that. We appreciate it. It buys ammo either way. You know, like and subscribe, share the video, do some sort of interaction. The YouTube guys like a comment, they like a share. It just helps us boost the algorithm. So if you like the videos, that helps us out too. Go in the description to a local shelter. Our name's Iowa. It's the YSS. It could really use your support.
I wish there was a scratch and sniff so y'all could smell the manure on the field.
That wind is blowing some shit, that's for sure. Now, these are the first rounds I put into this, and I'm actually using 38 special because I want to see if the gun runs it. A lot of my Winchesters and Henrys run 38 special through the .357, so we'll see how that goes. Right now, oh my god. This is what happens when you shoot into the sun, right? I can barely see anything.
It is not ideal time.
Well, I'm already shooting better than the Colt. So far so good. The action's super smooth, absolutely like butter right out of the box. I'm a big fan. Well, can't quite do it with the big gloves, but getting close.
It was still hot.
I do want to mention that Henry did send this to us. That will not change my opinion at all. And I also want to mention that I have about 5 Henrys that I've already purchased. So I would have bought it anyway. I'm very excited. If you're unfamiliar, my buddy lives right up the road from me, Nick, Pewview on Instagram. He owns a real decked out version of this. And that for sure is the inspiration for me to get this for this video. I'm eventually going to,
It is cold.
I'm eventually going to deck this one out as well. Oh yeah.
All right, you cutie.
Let's stretch this pig out a little bit here, 100 yards. I like this thing so much. It's running those 38 specials okay. That one was Lawman. Lawman kind of sucks, so we did have a little bit of an issue there. I also kind of short stroked it a little bit. It's cold, I got the gloves on. Excuse alert, but that was not the gun's fault. That was mine.
Cold though, it is.
You know what I like about a lever action? Well, not a lever action, but just a pistol caliber carbine. It's so fun to put this ammo in a revolver, like a 5-inch revolver, shoot it at this distance and hear like a ping, and then you put it in this with a 16-inch round, ping, you know what I mean? Like it,
louder.
Yeah, you can tell velocity really
velocity?
does help, hits way harder.
Ooh, I love when you talk about
Let's go round 2 here. Oh, no, can't do it with the jacket on. Look like a dumbass. All right, now we're at a $120. I'm gonna aim at the big one. I'm getting too greedy. That was a little low.
Got her.
It's hard to beat, man. Maybe not at 120, but I'll get her dialed in. That was an issue with the buckhorn sights. You know, buckhorn sights are a little interesting to use because what you have is you have a notch and then you have posts, just like a handgun sight, but you don't necessarily have the same leveling system. So what you have is kind of a circular, at the front there, that fiber optic is a circular sight, right? So instead of being flat on the top like a handgun, equal height, equal light, it's a little bit of an issue sometimes to get the elevation required for certain distances, especially when you're shooting handgun rounds, this shit going on as opposed to this shit. So it's a little bit interesting, but now I got it dialed in, I know where to aim.
That was a very scientific explanation.
This shit instead of this shit?
Yep.
Yeah, I do what I can. Always going low. There we
That is not the easiest thing to load.
Well, not when it's real cold and your fingers are numb, no, but there's a little trick to it. I basically just leave the bullet halfway out and you just shove the other one in.
Which
makes it a lot easier. One of the issues I have about the Henry, and one of the issues you're gonna have about a lot of these guns, for home defense guns, especially for new shooters, is you're gonna have the loading gate is a bitch on almost all lever actions, and it takes a little bit of technique to learn how to use. Along with that, you're gonna have the issue of short stroking the lever. You haven't seen me do it yet, but people do it. It's especially easy to do on shorter, smaller cartridges like 357 or especially 38 Special. Honestly, I learned on a 30-30. I learned on a Marlin 30-30. I have a 30-30, I have a 45-70, and then I have a 44 Magnum, and all those are gonna be easier for me to load personally, like especially the 30-30. You stick one in, you kind of slide the other one in, it takes like 5 rounds and they're big and long. It's easier to load. So the shorter ones are easier to shoot, but they're harder to load in my opinion. It's kind of what I'm going with there. Now, I got like 6 rounds in here. We'll do some home defense stuff. I'll pretend those people are coming in or those people are coming in. We'll just kind of dispatch them as need be. I missed.
Dang it.
I think we had like 9 rounds in there. 8 rounds in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we had 8 rounds in there.
Nice.
So it holds 8, apparently. Works. Oh, I can't do that though. There we go.
Working on your tricks. Committed to the spin.
Oh, you dirty motherfucker. Almost got it. Son of a bitch.
It was almost cool.
I like it. Lightweight, easy to use, reliable. Couple things, like I said before, if you're gonna use it, you're new to it, learn how to load it. First off, as you load it, the lift gate or the loading gate will get weaker, it will get easier to use. A lot of this is honestly just dragging on what looks to be the coating on the lift gate. The lever is very, very smooth, especially in comparison to some of the old ones. However, if you are gonna mount the gun, rock it all the way out, all the way in. Don't be a baby about it. All the way out, all the way in. You don't want to short stroke the gun. Overall, I think it's a pretty awesome gun. I like the fiber optic sights, although I wish they were flat. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe it's old school in me. I know they're circular, just like the Wilson Combat sights. You kind of put them in there and it's kind of like a ghost ring and it's good to go. I like pure accuracy, especially with a rifle. I want to be able to hit a headshot at 100 yards if I need to, even with iron sights. I want to be able to hit, you know, that hitbox on a deer if I need to. I like the threaded barrel a lot because the lever action is very, very quiet if you suppress it, and we will be doing that, trust me. 9mm suppressors, I believe, work with 38 Special. Hopefully mine does, because I'm gonna try it. We didn't test the loading system up here because, you know, honestly, I did that all my life. The whole fucking bring it out here and slide it open and load 5 rounds in it and shut it. After a long day at the range, I'm sure that's a very nice addition because the loading gate does get tedious after a while and does hurt your little fingers. However, we didn't test that. The sights work good. The hammer is amazing. One of the issues that I have with a lot of lever actions is how stiff the action is. You will not find that on this one. On top of that, the single action trigger on the gun is very exceptional. I mean, I would imagine it's about 4 pounds, somewhere in there. Feels very good. Recoil pad's good. Traditional sling mounting system, which kinda sucks, because if I were gonna use this in the field, honestly, I'd put a red dot on this bitch and I'd put one of those sling mounts on the back so my sling can mount on the side, because I like my rifle to sit on my body like this, even if it's old school. That way if I go no hands, or if I have to drag a deer, for example, I can just throw it over my shoulder and I can keep my rifle on me while I drag the deer. I like that. I mean, I'm from Iowa and sometimes we shoot deer in ravines. You gotta go down and get it, drag it up. And for a home defense scenario, I like to have a sling on the gun that's useful in case they try to take the gun away from me. I don't want them to have the gun, I want my gun. So, a couple issues, but for the most part, really easy. I like the light mount here, but as you can see, I push out if I want it. I mean, I'm a big guy, and I like to be nice and tight here with the lever action. That being said, if you gotta use the light, you gotta go way out, because you're gonna have to push the light because there's not a lot of room for a tape switch. Maybe you could screw one in on the side, but that'd be some hillbilly shit. There's M-lock slots up here. Maybe you could stick the light in that and have it more of an 11 o'clock. Maybe I'll try that. There's also a lot of accessories to trick this guy out, from M-lock rails and skeletonized stocks and all that cool stuff, which we may get into in the future. But as a base rifle, it's pretty awesome. Honestly, I forget the price. We'll annotate it right here.
I think it's around 1,000.
Yeah, Henry sent us this. I didn't buy it, but I think I might keep it though, I gotta tell you. Out of all the guns, I mean, it's kind of silly because I didn't expect I would like a tactical lever action so much. But out of all the guns I've ever gotten right out of the box, and Berthes, Winchesters, I have a Winchester 1873. And I would argue that this is one of the smoothest actions I've felt. And on a lever action, that's very important. So, yeah, so far so good. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters. Remember to recycle. Check you later.